Good morning, friends. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Adrienne, and you are here with our dream of simple living. So, I have promised myself for months that I am going to just get out here with the camera and throw caution to the wind. I am not perfect at videoing any of these things. I've had issues with my camera, I've had issues with my phone uploading. But we are going to try this again because I really want to capture things in the garden. Today's a good day for me to be out here early this morning. It's cloudy, and so I wanted to kind of show you guys what we have going on. So this will be our May garden tour. All right, so early in the morning is really crazy with the birds around here. I don't know what these birds do, but they literally like attack our windows. They get so close to us and attack, like not attack us, but they're like flying really close. So you'll probably hear them like fighting and doing all the things. And it's crazy because it's red birds that we see the most out here. So someone is watching over us. Is that what they say about cardinals? I think that's what they say. Anyway, I wanted to kind of give you an overview, just a view of the whole garden, minus that tarp over there, water hose and everything. This is a true garden, y'all. Nothing is perfect, but just kind of wanted to show you what we have. We have 4 of these L-shaped beds. The longer side is 4x16. The smaller side is 4x10. And then we have 2 16-foot beds inside. We have 2 10-foot and then 1 8-foot right there in the front. So let's get started, friends. All right, so we have some tulips and daffodils that were down here at the end of this bed. Of course, they've kind of petered off. I was trying to go in and just pull them out, but I think I'm gonna have to get a shovel and get those out. My hope is to go ahead and pull those. I know that a lot of people say that they will, come back. I'm not really interested in them coming back in this area. And so it's just kind of for, the time now. And then I want to plant something else there, some herbs or whatever. So we'll get in and get that out and plant some new things there. All right, so right next to it, I have some lettuce. I had a lettuce plant right there that I transplanted that we found growing somewhere else. And I don't know that it's going to survive. I actually transplanted some lettuce from another spot that kind of looked the same. It wasn't as big as that one, but it's thriving. So I'm gonna give it a few days and just kind of see what happens. All right, so all around the edges, you'll notice that we have onions. Y'all, I don't know what my onions are gonna do. We kind of planted our onions a little bit later by sets and not by slips. I think they're sets and slips, yeah. But anyway, if we only get green onions, that's totally fine. This will be the second year that I've tried onions, not as many as these, but this will kind of tell me if sets work for us or if I should try just to get the slips from Dixondale, which is I think where a lot of people get theirs from. We have a huge patch of carrots. They are kind of thinned, not thinned as much as we probably should have, but whatever we get is totally fine. I typically like to grow, just a quick disclaimer, I typically like to grow most of my cool weather crops in the fall, but so like I was saying, I like to grow most of my cool weather crops in the fall, but we decided to go ahead and throw some seeds out in the ground and different things in the ground because I'd already started brassicas and things inside. The beginning of this year was kind of rough for me, and so my daughters, my husband really came out here and they did a lot of the work for me. I am feeling much better now, and so I thought we would just put some seeds in the ground, see what we get. You never know until you try, right? But if we don't get a lot, that's totally fine because my favorite time in the garden is actually in the fall anyway. So whatever we can't get in the spring, we're just going to shoot for the fall. All right, coming around the front of this L-shaped bed, we have some collard greens is what I think it is, y'all. I don't know if they're collard greens or if they're kale. I don't really know. But anyway, I believe they're collards. They're much smaller than some of my other collards, but honestly, with our greens, we kind of just throw them all. Like, I just harvest them and we'll do like a stir fry. So honestly, we just kind of use them all. So it really doesn't matter to me. You can see that we have tomatoes back here on this trellis. These tomatoes, actually, I put them out because I got them from a homestead nursery, and they were starting to look really bad. And I was like, I'm going to go ahead and just throw caution to the wind, put them in the ground. I know a lot of people, I'm in zone 8A in the South. And so I know a lot of people don't put their tomatoes and peppers out until after Mother's Day. But I went ahead and put them out. We did have some 40-degree weather, and they still seem to be looking good. I don't know at this point. They don't seem to be stunted, but who knows? They're growing. So again, we've got some collards or kale. I know that this is kale going down here, and then we have some cauliflower down there. So we do have some lettuce. This is the lettuce that I was talking about that was just like that lettuce over there that literally bounced back. Something is eating my collards. I know these are collards, so I'll probably pull some of those. But anyway, this lettuce definitely bounced back. We've literally been harvesting kale every day. Y'all, my beans. This basically happens every single year. Last year, the culprit was Japanese beetles. This year, I think it's grasshoppers. At this point, I haven't put anything down. I'm just kind of gonna see what happens. We're kind of throwing beans just everywhere. So hopefully we can get a harvest. But if not, we've planted them in other places, and I may need to cover the ones that I planted in other places just to see if we can get a harvest. But anyway, these are beans. We have some cilantro behind those tomatoes. And so yeah, tomatoes are looking pretty good. We're starting to get some flowers, but they're looking pretty good right now. We planted this pea up here when we first got our soil because I wanted to test the soil. And so that is why we have this lonely pea. I don't want to take it out. I'm just going to leave it there. All right, moving down to the next L-shaped bed in the front of the garden, we have some more tomatoes here and onions, of course. This is where I put a lot of like my turnips, my radishes, and different things. You can see those turnips are getting pretty big. If we do not get big turnips, that's totally fine. We'll just eat the greens. But the majority of those tomatoes on the back are pink girl tomatoes. Those were recommended to me by one of my friends that lives in Tennessee. I'm in Mississippi, so she lives in Tennessee. And those are growing really, really well. We have some spinach. Had some spotty germination on a lot of our cool weather crops, only because a lot of the seeds, and that's why I said whatever we get this spring will be a blessing, because a lot of the seeds that we used were really, really older seeds. And so I wanted to test them and try to go ahead and get them out of my stash to see how they were going to do. One thing that I will say is the fall garden, or next garden season, we will need to go ahead and fill these beds up again. The rain really washed a lot of the soil down, but it also let us know that we probably didn't fill it all the way up. So we'll work on that, but they'll be fine. We have landscape fabric down. However, in each bed, we took the landscape fabric out so the weeds, or not the weeds, so that the roots could, of course, go down into the soil. So they should be fine. But along with the spinach, we have some Swiss chard that's finally coming up. Again, I believe it's grasshoppers that have literally just kind of feasted on leaves everywhere. And honestly, I typically stress out about pests, but y'all, I'm not going to stress. I just refuse to stress in the garden anymore. We're just planting more and more. It's just let them eat some of it, and we'll just plant more as we can. All right, so in the back of this bed, we have, which throughout this bed, I've actually put in beans. So we'll see how that goes. But we have some 7 top turnips, so those should be turnip greens. We have some more carrots, and we have a huge patch of lettuce that we have literally been eating every day, and it just comes back. So I'm really happy about that. So hopefully we can eat that before it, of course, gets too hot and peters out. Of course, we still have some daffodils and tulips that were down there. But yeah, this is kind of what we have in these front 2 beds. So we came from that bed over to this bed. And then our 8-foot bed, we have a mold and mildew container. Oh my goodness, y'all. No telling what you'll find in the garden. Anyway, in this corner, we have some bok choy. I do plan to plant out more bok choy in the fall. That's starting finally to do something, but again, it's kind of getting eaten up a little bit, as you can see. We have a wall of peas. Our peas are finally starting to put on some blooms. They have been heavily attacked by aphids, so we've been trying really hard to deal with all of that. But, again, it's a lot of what can you do. So we have some brassicas here. I believe those are cabbages down there, some kale going in here. And then we have radishes. We had planted so many radishes. Those are collard greens right here. But those radishes, I don't know what happened, but they literally barely grew. So I came back in and put some more down. I don't know if it's too late for them, but they are growing. So we'll just see what we get. All right, moving on to our 16-foot bed over here is potatoes. So we literally have a bed full of potatoes. At the end, I have Kennebacks, the middle red, and down here I have russets, I believe. I think they're russets or Yukon Gold. I don't know. I'll put it in the video. We're getting flowers. I've never really planted potatoes, so I'm hoping that that's a good thing. I think. But we did have, or we are starting to see some pest pressure on some of these. I'm not really sure. It still looks like grasshoppers to me, but they're growing. I'm really wondering though, because I'm starting to kind of smell, how potatoes rot. We've had a lot of rain, and I'm wondering if we should be pulling back on the amount of watering that we're doing. So tell me what you guys think about that. And then also, I'm wondering if I can plant some things in these bare spaces. Um, I don't know. I was thinking about beans, but tell me if you guys would plant anything. I don't know if that would interfere with the harvesting of the potatoes, but I don't want any bare spaces in our garden this year. All right, so this back bed, we've not planted anything just yet. We're actually going to come out probably today while it's cooler, and we'll plant out some, we have some more tomatoes that we need to plant out. Now, in the front of the bed, we've actually planted a couple of Romas. So I think what I'm going to do, because I don't plant a whole lot in the summer, and we do have weeds still coming up because we didn't really tack it down well. So I'm going to come out here and pull those weeds and tack it down. I know that some people are not fans of landscape fabric, and that's okay. That is your choice, but we are trying this year to try to suppress some of these weeds. And so, trial and error. We'll see if it works, and that's okay. I think this 10-foot side, I'm probably going to put out more of our paste tomatoes. In the summer, I don't plant a whole lot of crops. And so I have plenty of space to put in tomatoes and cucumbers and okra and those things. So that is probably what I'm going to be doing. Now, over here, this is just a Mod Podge. It's a 4x4 foot bed. We put nothing in it, as well as the bed next to it. We had some of our old soil in this bed, and I'm telling you, the weeds are insane. So we're gonna have to get that soil out, and we'll deal with it. And then we'll probably just put some soil in there, and that will be our bed that we use for the okra and the melons and different things like that. So we'll see. All right, so back to this 10-foot bed. We have peas that my daughter planted. So these are shelling peas. These are snap peas. These are going to be shelling peas if we're able to get any of them. Again, with peas, if we don't get anything, that's okay. We'll just work on them in the fall and we'll go from there. Now, down the middle of this bed, we planted like, I don't know how many square feet of beans. So that middle of the bed should all be beans. And so I think they're contender beans. I see some of the shells that have kind of popped up. So hopefully we'll see something there. We have not planted anything on this edge. I'm still trying to decide what I want to plant. I am wanting to put up an arched trellis. You see we have those trellises back there, or cattle panels. So I'm hoping to be able to do that. And if I can do that, I'll probably do some pole beans. And I have this melon that I want to do. And so hopefully we're able to get that done soon. My husband's been working a whole lot and just been really busy with church. And so it's been really hard to get out here and get that done. So on this edge of this 10-foot bed, I planted out bait alpha cucumbers. So I have one that has popped up, and I have one that looks like it's, one, two, that looks like they're going to pop up pretty soon. I'm sorry. So yay for that. I don't have anything in the middle of this bed, but on the other edge, these are my Roma tomatoes. So those, of course, are going to go in cages. So this is how we planted those, and hopefully that works. I'm trying not to plant things like right next to each other, but I think we can get away with it since they're going to be in cages. All right, so we still have tomatoes here that need to go out, some tomatillos and different things that we're planning to get out really soon, because a lot of them, well, some of them, they're still looking pretty good, but I really know that I already know that I need to get them out. So on this edge of this 16-foot bed, we have more tomatoes. So we're going to put our cattle panel on this side of them as opposed to the edge. And so hopefully, again, we can get that done. And outside of that, in this bed, we haven't planted anything else. So still debating on some things that I really want to put in here. And so you guys tell me what you think would be good to put in this bed, because we have plenty of space. Again, we've got weeds. And I will tell you guys, the weeds are here only because we didn't do a great job of covering edges on our landscape fabric. So we're going to have to go back in. It's not because of the landscape fabric, because for the most part, the landscape fabric has done a great job. It's just we have cracks and stuff that we need to worry about. But yeah, as you can see, like, these beans have gotten big, but man, look at this. Look at this. Like, y'all, I don't understand. Like, they're just, every year my beans get eaten up. One accomplishment that I will say that I have that I'm super excited about this year is cilantro. Y'all, I've never been able to grow cilantro. And look at this cilantro. We've already been harvesting it. So dang excited about this cilantro. So if all goes well, we'll have a whole wall of cilantro, and I'm really excited. So anyway, this is another view of our tomatoes from the back. And so those are almost ready to get trellised up. So I'm really excited about that. All right, so here's our carrots, some lettuce. Really happy about all of this. This is one of those tulips that I pulled and was just like, ooh, these are harder to get out than I thought. But yeah, our tomatoes, these are cherry tomatoes, sweet cherry, sweet 100 cherry tomatoes. So we've got tomatoes, Better Boy Plus. I will say that I'm actually, and I don't know how the season's gonna go, but typically my tomatoes just look terrible from the start. So this year I really focused on getting varieties that were known for my area. So I got some suggestions from friends and different things. And so they are just looking so much better than they have in the past. So anyway, friends, this is our garden. So excited about the new space. If you have been around for a little bit, or if you remember, and maybe I'll do a garden deal or put some photos in here about what our previous garden used to look like. I'm really excited about the new space that we have and um, the possibilities. So many possibilities. All right, friends, so that is going to be it for this garden tour. I know this was really quick, but I wanted to just kind of get out here and show you guys what we have going on. I'm really happy. Even just a week or two ago, the growth that we didn't really have. I was really surprised that the potatoes took off as quick as they did, so I'm hoping for a great harvest there. Still got lots of things to plant. We have the peppers that I showed you guys, or I'm going to show you guys, still inside, that we're kind of hardening off. Not in a rush to get those out or anything, but we still have tomatoes that we need to put in the ground, cattle panels that we need to put up, and I'm just not rushing it. I was watching Rachel over at that 1870s homestead, and I swear it's like God just puts the right person at the right time to speak a word, because I was just thinking about the garden and how I'm like, man, some people look like they've had stuff forever and it's growing. And I just felt like God had just given me a word to just not rush it and to enjoy it. I've been through a lot of things, or our family has been through a lot of things this past year, the end of the year, the beginning of the year, and we really just need calm, and that's what I'm looking for in the garden this year. That's why I'm not worried about, yes, at some point maybe I need to put diatomaceous earth down, or I need to figure that out, but I'm just going to keep coming out here planting seeds, and hopefully we'll just get a harvest, and we'll get the amount of harvest that God wants us to. We've already been harvesting. I'm really excited about it. So yeah, I'm happy about what's going on in the garden. I'm thankful for the growth. I'm thankful for the possibilities, and thankful for what it looks like and what it has transformed into. So anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up. I hope to be able to put out more videos soon, but I'm so happy that you guys have come today and just spent some time in the garden with me. I know it's not a perfect or long video, but I just wanted to show you guys some of the things that we have going on. So anyway, I hope that you guys are having an amazing day. Go ahead and give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed this. Consider subscribing if you like these type of videos. And until next time, friends, make it a great day. Bye, y'all.